Hello and welcome to part 8 of the Lockdown Coder, coming to you from Sydney, Australia during the lockdown in July 2021. Well, in 25 minutes we'll find out the new numbers, the cases and the situation for the next few weeks. But in the next 10 minutes we're going to do more on functions in JavaScript. Now, I realized a couple of days ago I said I was going to do an add function that could add any number of numbers together, and I didn't. I think I got too excited and wanted to do some other stuff. So I'm going to do that now. So you remember arrays. Arrays are lists, and if you recall, I told you that lists are almost inevitable in every program that you build, whatever it is. You just always seem to be processing lists in computer programs. It's just one of those things. It's an inevitability. It's as sure as death and taxes. Lists in computer programs. So get used to it and learn about lists. Learn about the different kinds of lists. Now, in JavaScript, it's actually pretty simple. You basically use arrays. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you could build any kind of list in a class and you can study data structures and algorithms and you'll find out all kinds of types of lists. I'm not going to go through them. Linked lists, and I'm just going to say linked lists. Go and look it up afterwards. They're really useful. You can make things like the snake game with a linked list. But in JavaScript, we use arrays pretty much all the time. And an array is just a list. A list is just that shopping list that your mum sent you out for when you were a kid. Or if you are a kid and you're listening and your mum sends you out, it's that list. And you get it. It's just a bunch of items on a sheet of paper or on your mobile phone in Google Keep or some notes app. It's just a list of items, right? And you get it. And you find the item and you cross it off, right? That's a list. You add things to the list, you remove things from the list, you change things on the list. That's the list. You insert things into the list. It's not complicated. So learn lists, learn arrays, learn JavaScript. So an array in a literal form would be created like this. You'd have square brackets and you'd have the items here. So my archetypal list is my shopping list, which is milk, bread, and of course donuts and whiskey. The essentials, you're not allowed to go out during lockdown unless it's for essentials. So this is my shopping list for today. My essential shopping list. Now that's a literal array, and if I hit enter, it's perfectly valid. But what's the problem with that? I can't hear you. Yes, of course, there's no storage bucket. We haven't placed it in a storage bucket or a variable, okay? So really, we would want to put that in a variable. So let's hit the up arrow key and put let shopping list. Have I told you about camel case? I think I have. Hit enter. So shopping list is your storage bucket, and if you look inside it by typing it out, hit enter, you'll find the contents are an array. So there you go. Now a function, I think I've left myself about 5 minutes to do this. So a function that will add any numbers together. You really want to be passing in an array. So the function is going to look like this. So add, and you will pass in an array of numbers, of course. So let's actually create a list of numbers. Call it numList to add up equals array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now the answer to that, I could write a nifty little function to do it and impress you, but I'm not going to, would be, oh goodness me, what would it be? What? What? Oh, I don't know. But what's to do this? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9. Oh my word, what am I doing? There's a problem with unedited stuff and unplanned when I don't have a clue what I'm doing. Plus 10, 55. Okay, so we know it's got to be 55, and we've got a variable. So what we're gonna do now is I'm just gonna show you when the function is written, it should take a list of numbers like that, and it should, when you hit enter, it should say 55. But this says add is not a function because it's not a function. We haven't written it. All right, we wrote it the other day, but then I closed Chrome and everything. Memory went out the window. So this is a fresh instance of Chrome, and we need to write this function. So let's get on with it. So we have a function. Oh, we'll probably have to do a loop here. So I'm gonna do a basic loop, and I'll hopefully tell you about those tomorrow. So function add takes an array of numbers r nums. Yeah, I think that's okay. Actually, do I want that? Yeah, let's just call it ARR. Alright, so now we want a loop. Let's have a result. Let's say result equals, let's call it 0. And at the end, we're going to return the result. Okay. So now we're going to loop through. We're going to loop through the array for I equals 0, I is less than array.length. So dot length gives you the length of the array. In our case, it's going to be 10, right? So we're passing 10 numbers. And I++ just adds 1 to I. I is the counter. We'll go from 0 to the length of the array, going round and round and round. And inside the loop, you will write some code to perform a function which will run for as many times as the loop goes around. Okay, I hope that made sense. So we want to go result equals result plus I, and at the end we want to return result. I hope this is correct. So when we pass in add num list, it's 9. That's not right. So we obviously made a mistake, and it looks like result plus equals I, not equals plus. So if we call that again, 45. Well, is that right? I'm guessing it is right. I guess I put in, I guess I did that. So let's just go num list to add up. Oh, maybe it didn't add up the last one. Not sure what's going on there. Oh, I know what it was. Less than or equal to, maybe. So it went to 9, didn't include 10. Should have put equal to. Now it's getting messy, so I'm going to clear that, and I'm going to call up the thing again, the function again, and it's 55. Done. If that was as clear as mud, maybe tomorrow we might just explain it a little bit more, go over it again. But as I left myself 5 minutes to go, I had to do that pretty quickly and just hope for the best that it would actually work. And it did. So we shall see you tomorrow in the Lockdown Coder, episode 9 tomorrow. Looking forward to it. I'm going to jump on and see what Gladys is going to say right now. All right, stay safe. Don't protest and only go out for essential donuts. See you tomorrow.